Hi everyone, Amanda here, and what I would like to share with you today is how you can take a Dollar Tree calendar and transform it into dividers for your planner, some gift card or some note cards and greeting cards, etc. So this is what a calendar typically looks like from Dollar Tree, and it's very thin. The pages are very, very thin, but it's perfect for transposing into something else. So once you see what I've done, you'll see I did all this for like $1 plus some stuff for my stash. So, and in fact, I even used the back's pictures as well. So let me show you what I did, and this is on another Dollar Tree calendar, but it's with Nature's Beauty. It's 18-month. It's a 12-month calendar for 2018. But what I'm doing here, you can also definitely do with an old calendar, one that you wanted to keep the pictures or you haven't thrown away because it's really too beautiful. So let me show you what I've done. I separated all the pages, just tore them out. Just like, like I would turn it this way and I just tear out the pages. And it's very easy, obviously. And then after I tear out the pages, I look at it and decide, okay, what do I want to have in this picture as a planner divider? So I would most likely measure it. So I would look and say, all right, do I want to keep the perk up, which I would want to try to keep here. So I would try to do, it's a 5.5 inches is what I'm going for. So if we go here, this is 5.5 inches. So it looks like I would be able to get just the edge of this and without the exclamation mark. And then I would look this way and measure out 8.5 inches, which is about here. And I kind of like eyeball it a little bit, and I think I would have to cut off the tops of the P. And if that doesn't bother you, you could definitely use this piece. If that would bother you, there's plenty of other pages to choose from. So like for the calendar I used, there were so many pictures that were really beautiful. And so I was able to make a lot of dividers, but it's not necessary, because if you just get one set of dividers, I think it's well worth it. So these are the dividers I made, and I cut each page 5.5 by 8.25 at first. And then when I was looking at it, and after I cut it, I realized that I could see through the paper, and I didn't want to have to see the calendar part on my dividers, especially if you're using a calendar that you've used and you have writing and marking all over the back. If you have a thin sheet and there's a lot of markers and stuff, tend to want some of that's going to kind of like flow through, bleed through, so you might not want to use that. But if you just have a few handwriting marks and it doesn't show through, I would definitely back it, which is what I did. I trimmed down my dividers from 5 3/4 by 8.25, and I trimmed it down to 5.5 by 8. And then once I did that, I had all my dividers cut at 5.5 by 8. Then I took some cardstock that I got at Michael's in a coordinating color, and I cut all the cardstock pieces to the 5 3/4, if I can talk, and by 8.25. And I made 9 of them, and that is for 1 dashboard and then 8 dividers. So once I cut out the cardstock and I had my pages, I just used a simple Tombow tape runner. This is permanent, so it's very, it'll stick quite well. And I just put it on a few spots. And then I adhered all the pictures to the cardstock pieces. And then after I had the cardstock pieces all put together, then I decided, you know, what order I wanted, and I put the divider tabs on here. And for the tabs, I just used this tab maker from We Are Memory Keepers. It works really well. I like it a lot and I use it all the time. So I'm going to go through all the pictures that I made, because after I did the tabs, I did laminate them all, and I really thought that they looked stunning after they were laminated. And this calendar was really beautiful, but you know, with a Dollar Tree calendar, it is very thin, and you want to be able to have a nice calendar, and so it's nice to reuse it after it's been hanging on your wall, or if you just want to make one of these yourself. So this is my dashboard. The dashboard, I laminated this one in a 5mm lamination. And the reason I did that is because I was kind of testing it to see how thick I wanted my dashboard to be, and at the same time it's a dashboard and I kind of have a tendency for those to be a little thicker. And then the rest of them use the 0.3 or 3mm. This is the first page, and you can see that the colors remain very bright and vivid even after being laminated. We've got some butterflies and some another bird, like a bluebird. Here's one with a nest and some floral pieces, flora. Another bird. This page here had a focal point, and so I only got one divider out of this page of the calendar because I had to cut it in a way that was in the middle of the page, and that happens sometimes, and that's exactly what would have happened with this one. Then I have another butterfly with flowers, and then I have my last tab, and I'm going to punch these, you know, using my my hole punch from Michaels. I'm going to punch these and put them in my A5 planner. But this is not all I did out of this one calendar. So like I said before, I used even the pictures on the back here that were on the back of the calendar I had. So what I did was I cut them all out into little tiny squares like this, and they're 2 by 2 inches. And they all make really cute little images. And so I'm like, what can I do with these? And I thought, okay, I can make little cards. So I cut out coordinating cardstock to affix these two, and then I cut out some mini cards, and I'll show those to you in a minute. What I really like about these images and many other calendar images is there's a lot going on already. You don't even have to embellish them a lot to make them work, but I did do some embellishing already, and I'll show you some examples. So this is one that I used the light lavender paper, and I matted it on this purple cardstock. And then I took this Nuvo drops, and I put it on some of the insides of the flowers. And then I took some Wink of Stella on the wings, and that's all I did. And it makes a really cute little tag or gift card. And I could put a hole, punch a hole at the top and tie it to a gift bag. Or I could get and make an envelope for it and give it with a gift. So there's that one. And then this one I made also on the purple background. And this one, all I did was I used a stamp I have from the Sassy Club, and it's a square stamp, and then I stamped it with Be Kind, also from the Sassy Club. And then I colored it with Copics, and I added this puffy little heart here that was left over from a Cocoa Daisy kit. And that's what that, it's just perfect. And I can put that anywhere. It's all occasion card. So there's that one. And then I did another one. This one I put on black, and I did a little faux stitching around the edges. And I put some Wink of Stella on the wings and the flowers, which you probably can't see. And what I can do on the inside is I can use my white gel pen to write a greeting. So it's got a plain front, and then I can use the white gel pen. Now I will tell you, I'm not really thrilled with the stitching around the edges. I think because the black part is not big enough. If I did that again, I would make my card base a little bit bigger to allow some of the black to come through a little bit more. And then finally, another example that I did was I used this bigger picture right here from my calendar, and I put it on a larger card. I matted it with the same lavender paper, and I'll put it up there close. I put some Wink of Stella on the flower and on the wings, and then I just added this wood piece from my stash and these like cream color pearls from my stash. And then on the inside, I matted it with some of the lavender cardstock. And what I can do is I can either make this a picture card, or I can have a space to write a greeting on. So that was the main thing, but that was the main thing I did out of the pictures. So another thing that I did was I took a piece of the leftover paper, because after I cut down the pages, I had all these leftover pieces, and they're really pretty. And honestly, I could probably cut them and do like so many cards. I could make probably 30 cards out of all this, which is awesome. But another one that I did was I took this tag, and it's a white kind of an eyelet tab. It looks like, or tag, it looks like this. And I think these were Martha Stewart tags. I think I got them at Tuesday Morning, so I'm not sure, but they were in my stash. And I took a piece of the leftover calendar and I matted it again on this lavender color because I really like the lavender color. And then I put it in the center of this tag and covered up the hole. And at first I was thinking, oh, I can just punch a hole where that hole was originally and make it into a tag, which I could have done, but instead I made it into another card. And it can go like this or like this. I kind of intended it to be like this, but it could certainly go in another direction. So that's the way I used the main calendar pieces, the pictures on the back of the calendar, and then some of the scraps. And then I wanted to kind of show you how you could decorate these. I already pre-cut some card bases, and one of them's already scored here. And if I take one of the pictures, because I really like this one here, or let's take this one, and I'm going to try to think about what I want to do with it. So I think that I was wanting to maybe do something with ribbon, because I really I got this ribbon at Michael's. I really like it, and I think the colors go really well. So let me see if I put that along the bottom. I think that would be pretty. So let me cut a piece of this off. Okay, and I'm going to glue this down, adhere this down. Okay. Okay, so I've got that adhered down, and now I'm going to put the ribbon along the back or along the front. And I'm going to just run some adhesive here. If you want it to be a little more stable, you could also use double-sided tape, but I find that this works just as well. And that's really, really pretty. And then what I'm going to do is just put more adhesive on the back. And just put it right here. Now, if I wanted something else, I think I kind of would like maybe to put some of these little pearls. So let's see, I've got my little quick stick here, and I just separate one of these. And I'm going to put it right here. Okay, I got one down, and I'm going to put a couple more here. And I'm just going to make sure they're even. And then I would consider this done. And like I said before, I could use my white gel pen to write a greeting on the inside. And I think that looks really, really pretty. If I wanted to use my envelope maker, I could get one. I could make a card specifically for this size, and it makes great little cards for on top of gifts. Or if you're doing like pocket letters or something like that, to just be able to tuck inside. And one of the things is I did already start decorating a couple of these before I stuck them to the back. And this is a brad that I put on the inside of the flower. And then after that, I will stick it here and then onto the black card, okay? And then this one, I took some little flowers. They look like these little tiny itty bitty ones I got from Michaels. And I punched a couple little holes here, and then put some glue down and punched the flower through it. And it had these little itty bitty tiny stems, and I just cut those off on the back. And then I will also put this one on this color paper and also put it on here. I have lots of different embellishments that I pulled to use. Obviously the pearls I have, and my ribbon, and the Nuvo drops, but I also have some enamel dots that I thought I'd use, and I have some of this pearl sticky ribbon, and for this one I have a couple of them already done. And what I cut them in half, so I cut down the size I needed and then cut down the middle, and my idea was to put them on this one here with this on the top here and on the bottom. So that was my idea, to use that one. I have some little wooden pieces of some birds and some various designs, and then some more wooden pieces with just different sayings and greetings on them, very similar to this one here that says lovely. I pulled some washi tape that had some gold in it that I thought matched. I had these little chalkboard wooden pieces, but they're too big, so those went out. Just more pearls. And then I have all these little doodlebug pieces, which is where the brad came for that one. So I have all this stuff pulled to finish the cards, and at the end of this video I'll show you all of the finished cards. One other thing I pulled was this little tile, and it's a butterfly, and I thought I could use this on one of the cards, but honestly I do not know where. But these were in my stash. I have several of them. I have no idea where I got them, and I love them, but I have been hoarding them because I don't know how to use them. And they're all different designs, and they're almost flexible, but not really, if that makes any kind of sense. So anyway, this is kind of what you can do with a leftover calendar or a current Dollar Tree calendar. I guess you could call it a hack. I also have this old calendar, and it's the country churches, and I'm going to use this one to make into dividers as well. And if you would like to see like a start to finish video of like, you know, like a process video of how I would turn this into dividers, let me know. There is so much you could do with this calendar because number one, you have the gorgeous pictures of the churches. I really love churches. But then on the sides here, you have also little pictures of every page. You have a little picture here in case you have pieces you can't use. And then I would also say that this most likely is going to have like a focal piece. Like this church is only going to fit on one A5 divider, but that doesn't mean that this size is not usable, because how pretty would it be to have the winter scene on like a personal size divider? And if you did that with each one, you would have the winter, then you'd have this side on the February, and you know, all the greenery here, and it's just like, so I could out of this calendar get a set of A5 dividers, probably 2 sets because there's 12 months, and that would give me 2 dashboards and 10 dividers. And then I could do the same with the side that I'm not using. And then now this one, I think I could still fit an A5, and you probably can't see it. It might help if I put that through. But see how this one's in the center? So I would have to cut, you know, both sides. But I think I could still cut it to where I got either 3.75 on this side or 3.75 on this side. And I think that would work. And then on the back, there is no back. This particular calendar comes with like a cardboard case or envelope, sleeve, whatever. So I think that if I have the sleeve for it, the envelope, it has all the pictures on the back, like what's on the back of this calendar. So I have a bunch of old calendars that belong to my mother because she loved these Lang calendars. And so I have a bunch that are packed away, and I'm just going to turn them into dividers, and I think it'll be a good way to remember my mom, or even just dashboards. But the one thing I will say is if you have the Lang calendar or a thicker, more expensive calendar, the pages are going to be heavier. So you might have to adjust the size of your lamin that you use, and then if you put them on cardstock, I would say get a Michaels cardstock, not anything thicker. If you back calendar pages, don't use your really good cardstock like your Simon Says stamp, your Stampin' Up, anything that's like 110 pounds or whatever. I would not recommend that because you're going to have a harder time having the lamin stick to those papers. For some reason, lamin doesn't stick as well to high-end scrapbook paper as it does to just like the Michaels. So anyway, that is, I'm getting a little bit off track, but that is how you kind of upcycle, recycle, hack a Dollar Tree calendar, and how you can make planner dividers and little gift cards, tags, etc. from $1 calendar. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching my video. Thank you for putting up with listening to me, and thank you for sticking around even when my husband texts me on my phone and you can hear it beep. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, please let me know, and please subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.